You look stylish now. I didn't realize you
all
were,
my jeans are worn out.
I didn't realize you were like in the style thing, man. I'm completely.
I'm a trendsetter.
I'm completely impressed.
Hi everybody, Jim from County Corvette. I'm here with a good friend and customer, Eric Felix. I've known Eric Felix now probably since what? Well, I guess 06-ish.
06, yeah, 05, 06.
Eric brought in a 2006 Corvette he had just bought and new, and found an exhaust system and was looking for somebody to put it on. And
well, I bought an 06 Corvette that I thought sounded like a Mercedes, that it wasn't loud enough. So I bought an exhaust, and you guys did the exhaust. But I had this car, which was used to be black, and I bought it in New England.
Right, Connecticut or something?
Connecticut, thank you, yes, in Connecticut. It had a 396 out of a 69 Chevelle in it. It was black. It was the most unsafe car you'd ever seen. It didn't stop, it didn't start, it didn't run, it didn't do anything.
And it was loud, and I can tell you it was loud because at the time, Eric lived up the street from me, and we didn't know each other. He had been a customer probably for, I'm going to say 3 years. We didn't realize we were neighbors within a quarter mile, but I knew the car. You know, every now and then I actually had a mutual friend lived almost across the street, and I was over there a couple times, and I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, and then we'd see this black car go by, and I'm like, I didn't know him, and then he brought it in, and we kind of made the connection. But this car actually started our resto mod business, because this is it was an
Everett Morrison kit.
Jag suspension and all that. So we brought it in and ended up with an LS1. It's a lot of fun to drive, and you know, with the tunnel footwell, it's actually nicer as an automatic. But anyway, so you use this car still. This build is what now? 15 years old. Still looks great. You know, it was done right. It's fiberglass. It's where we shine. But it really led us into the resto mod world, and you know, with this series that we're doing, I thought, what better place to start with than with my good friend and collector, with the car that actually started it all off. So please subscribe to this, because we're going to be doing some great series, and not only the cars, but how guys like Eric live. You know, he's got a bat cave. He's got a cool house, and the cool thing here is you drive in, back in, and these cars are staged to go. So he can just walk down, throw a key in it, and go. Unfortunately, he ran out of room, but he took space at our building, and we'll get into some of the other cars and maybe get over there and show you what he has. But yeah, this is a great car that he still uses, and you can see where it stands in this lineup. So it's provided many years of a lot of use. But then you've got some other stuff. Why don't we talk about some of the other cars here?
This one here you restored in 2006 also. It was in your showroom for, oh God, a couple of years. The original owner had it restored, who was a professional golfer, if I recall.
Right.
And
yeah, he bought the car new.
Bought the car, restored it, never picked it up, and wouldn't sell it. He wouldn't sell it.
Yeah, tell me about it. I had it in my showroom. What do you tell a guy who just, you know, paid a ton of money to restore a car, didn't hesitate to spend the money to do it right, and then came in and said, well, it's too nice to drive, can you hang on to it for a little while? Well, of course I'm not going to say no, but a little while turned into a year, and then a year and a half, and eventually we asked him, hey, yeah, what do you want to do with this car? Well, I think maybe I'll sell it. And then Eric had always expressed an interest in it, and I made the connection. But now this car was done in 06. 06. I mean, it looks like a fresh restoration. We did this in base clear. It's a great car. It's probably one of the best LS6s out there. And you know what I can tell you about collectors in general, but specifically Eric, is the guys I like to work with the most are the guys who ask for my advice, but then actually listen to it. Because I can't tell you how many times I'll get a phone call, hey Jim, what do you think about this? The guy will do the exact opposite, get the car that I told him not to buy, and then, you know, look for some help, and listen, I can't help you. I helped you when I told you not to buy the car. And Eric, on the other hand, always listened to good advice, and as a result, he's got one of the best car collections out there, but diverse, you know, a great variety of really great cars. And, you know, he collected with the principle that I buy with, which is condition, rarity, and paperwork. And no excuses cars, no stories. And you've probably seen Eric and I on some of the Mecum auctions where we rode a lot of them. And, you know, we've looked at a lot of cars over the years, but he's always bought the right ones, and for the right money, too, I might add. So this is a car that he stepped up for. It's a leather interior, nice options, bulletproof paperwork, tank sticker, actually everything but the window sticker. The original owner had picked it up in the rain, and he said that had melted. But, you know, just a great example of an LS6. And, you know, that's the type of collection that, you know, I encourage people to start, is cars that someday you'll sell, and you'll never have to make any excuses for it. So this is a great one that I would hope you would never sell. And I know you drive it a little bit. It's still on the bias ply tires, as a few of them are in here. They're not cars to be driven fast, but he takes them out and exercises them. And then, so what else we have here? You have the
69 435, original engine, side exhaust, that we saw up in Connecticut. We were buying a 67 blue 435 from a Angelo. Mm-hmm. And the car was over the corner, and Jim went over and looked at it, and he's looking at
it's a rare car. It's a triple, yeah, it's a black 435 coupe pipe car. They didn't make a lot of these.
He's looking at the motor, and he's looking at the work, and he goes, whoever did the work did a really good job on it. Not realizing that he walked over and saw the paperwork and realized it was me.
Well, you know, that's one of those instances as you get a little older with some wisdom, you know, you learn to keep your mouth shut. If you don't have anything nice to say, you just don't say anything at all. But when I saw the work on this car, I said, you know, it's got the right bolts. It had been aged, like it, you know, I knew it wasn't original because this car has the original interior. Somebody had repainted it, and at one point, I actually did, this car was in Westchester with its third owner, and the motor was worn out. We rebuilt it and did the suspension over, you know, some detail work. I actually did it personally, and that had to be 25 years ago. But, you know, it held up well, but it was done right. You know, at least it had that appearance. But no, really, this car drives incredibly well. And the original owner is a friend of mine. He's actually partner. He went to kindergarten with my partner Jim, and it's just one of those cool stories.
Jim, your partner,
yeah,
took the original smog pump off this car when he owned it for 2 days. Paul Noble, who's a friend of ours, drove Tony to pick up the car.
Yeah, that's so cool.
At the Chevy dealer in Philly.
Yeah, Penske
to pick it up. So it has all this history of being here.
With our friends. Yeah.
With our friends. Yeah. So we bought the car, and then you guys restored the chassis on it. You did a chassis restoration.
Right. That's right.
So the interior was nice, and the exterior was...
Yeah, the interior is bone original in this car. Original carpets, seat covers, door panels, bone original. It's really...
And you guys redid the chassis. But, you know, it's a 69 435 with side exhaust and paperwork and owner history. And black.
Doesn't get any better
and triple
than this.
black.
And
It's just... And black wheels. It's just...
Yeah, black tire car. Yeah, it's an original engine and driveline car, too. So it's just one of those cars. It's a keeper. This is a car you never get rid of. And I was just really happy when he, you know, it's just one of those by chance things that we were up looking at another car and saw this and ended up, you know, you ended up striking a deal with the guy. So yeah, it's a great car. And then...
paid way too much for it.
Well, you know, but you know... It's just like real estate, you know, you can only buy too early. You know?
This is 69 Trans Am, first year of the Trans Am. I was looking for a car because my youngest son wanted a car with a bird on it. So we were at Barrett Jackson and saw this car, which is, they're all white, all blue striped. The only thing that changes is the interior. And the guy that restored this car in Oregon did everything with original parts. It was, I mean, Jim looked at the car and said, it's such a well-restored car that it's hard to pass up. It was a 100-point car at a show.
Yeah, it had good judging on it, but it was just one of those cars. Listen, I've restored a lot of stuff over the years, and when I saw the quality of the car, it was one of those no-brainers. I said, Eric, if you can get it in this range, you buy the car. You'll never go wrong with it. And here it is today, and by today's values, it's a tremendous car because, you know, to do a car at this level, it's a very expensive proposition. But then you've got to start with a really nice, clean car. This is an original sheet metal car. you know, I know I'm a Corvette specialist, but when we get into steel cars, I love original panel cars, which is, it's hard to find, but this one is. And then on top of that, as Eric said, it's all NOS parts, and that's just, that's the cherry on top. So great paperwork, you have the PHS docs, and it's just a great car of that era, and it adds to that, you know, diversity of this collection. Eric's got a collection, there's something for everybody. If you like classic cars, there's something in that collection that you're going to say, whoa, you have one of them. So, and you know, as I said, this is just a small part of the collection. I don't know if you got time, we'll go over to the warehouse and take a look at some of the other stuff. But yeah, this is just a great car.
So unfortunately, my son did not think the bird on the back was quite large enough. So we went and bought a 73 Trans Am Super Duty.
Yeah, that was in an auction, right?
It was at an auction, but we did not buy it at the auction. I bought it from a dealer in Miami.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. They didn't bring the numbers and.
Right. I bought this car.
After the.
It's a repaint car. The mechanicals are all original.
Well, this is 73
Trans Am Super Duty. So one of 200.
Yeah, these are rare cars.
I like this one because it had air conditioning. So, because this was a car that I wanted to drive with my son, and in the summertime with no air, it's not very fun. So this car actually has air conditioning. The mechanicals are all completely original, unrestored. It's just been repainted. So it's a car you can't hurt driving in. It's a car you can have fun with. This car is just an absolute blast to drive.
But highly collectible. So it's really the best of both worlds. You've got that collectible value, but you've also got a car that, you know, you have here. You can just, if you're in that mood, and take Gavin out, hit the key and go, and you know you're.
This is a car that gets a lot of attention when you drive.
So that's the fire chicken.
Everybody knows the giant chicken on the front. They think it's the Smokey and the Bandit car, but you know they.
Well, it's a piece of the '70s that you know you can't deny, and they're great cars. And these were the last of the super, you know, muscle cars of that era. This was it. This was the last year. By '73, they were putting emissions controls on these cars and bogging them down. But these things still ran. They had some decent compression, and it's
well, they're hand-built race engines.
Yeah, they run good. I mean, these things have a lot of torque, and it is a car that you can have air conditioning and power steering and power brakes, and it still has gobs of torque, and it's just a hoot to drive. So great car and highly collectible, and just a really nice car to have in the driver collection of what you have.
Yes.
So, well, thanks for showing us all this stuff. We'll get over to the other place, and we can talk about some of the other stuff and how you ended up with it. And,
okay.
You know, we'll go from there.
The fun stuff.
Yeah.